Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? Welcome to this episode of 94 Feet with Coach JT. As always, I need y'all to hit the subscribe button, leave a like in the comments, let me know what you think, but also hit the website, man. 94 Feet with Coach JT.com. We got a sweatshirt, we got merch, we got that good HBCU Alcorn gear up there for everybody, from our Alcornites and everybody out there as well. But again, also, I want to say thank you for everybody who's been tuning in, man. We pushing up on year 3 coming up in 2024. So thanks for tapping in as I continue to grow this platform and get this thing going. Let me jump into this quick little intro, man. This gentleman right now is a professional trainer. His passion is to guide people toward healthier lifestyles. Everybody is unique with their own strengths and limitations. His methods are focused around technique and building strength to reach your long-term fitness goals as well. Health and fitness is not only about your body looks on the outside, but also on the inside. One of his mottos is less work on finding out the balance between body and mind. His program is designated to burn calories, boost metabolism, and improve your overall health. He focuses on strategic exercise and healthier eating habits to build long-term changes. But last but not least, he's a '05 graduate of Alcorn State University, track athlete, still in great shape. Your coach, your trainer got to be in great shape. He's currently located in San Diego, California. So, man, he about an hour and a half flight from me up in NorCal, but we still Cali home team. You may know him as Blackk, Justine. But Coach Blackk, Justine, how you doing, man? Thanks for tapping in.
I'm doing good. I'm good, man.
That's
Appreciate
what's up, man.
you for having me on here too.
Yeah, bro. It's been, you know what I'm saying, it's a pleasure to physically get you on the screen again. I know we ain't been face to face in them years, but definitely good to see you, man. See you grinding out there. And as like I said, on this platform right now, bro, one, we're gonna help promote the business, but also, man, let's give you a time really to talk about the foundation of Justine itself before the business. Us growing up being young males together on a campus where nobody, it ain't for everybody, but also we both Cali people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're going to get into that too. But let's get into it before we get to that point, man. Just give me a little bit about the background, Jay, about just you yourself and growing up in general, though, man.
My name is originally, my real name is Justine, but I go by Just Blackk. I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but we moved to San Diego when I was about 7. Yeah, I was about like 7. My mom was a flight attendant. So we moved to San Diego, but we always flew back and forth from Pittsburgh to San Diego. So, on long weekends, I kind of like grew up with the best of both worlds. Like I was my whole life, middle school, elementary school, middle school, and high school was all in California, but I would always be back and forth to Pittsburgh. So I kind of got both, of those upbringings. But I'm really, man, I'm Cali to the heart. I'm still a diehard Steelers fan, but California is what kind of bred me and made me who I am today. And man, I just played sports, and then when I finally graduated, went to Virginia, to Hampton, Virginia for 2 years first, and then me and a couple homies transferred to Alcorn State, and that's where it was like. That's probably where it felt like the beginning of my life really just started, because if anybody's ever been to Alcorn or even visited Alcorn, you would see that it's like a change coming from California, from a big city in California, to go to Alcorn. That was like, it was like night and day. So that was a lot of adjusting. But I mean, it was good, man. It taught me a lot in life. Like I feel like at Alcorn was really when I started like actually growing up, because you was out there on your own and it was in the middle of nowhere too. So yeah, that's just a little brief.
Yeah. You talked about coming from Pittsburgh though. What to Cali in SoCal? People think SoCal, California, Hollywood all the time, LA.
Yeah.
San Diego's still nice though, but just in general, what was the environment like when you growing up as a young? You say your mom was a flight attendant, so you had to move, but just initially, what made you hopefully, or did you like even that move at that point, or was it something you had to get adjusted to, bro?
So when I first moved here, I hated it. I couldn't stand, and that was just because I was so used to being in Pittsburgh. I had all my family there, I had all my cousins, and then it was my mom's like, "Oh, I met your stepdad." Next thing you know, here you go, you moving to San Diego. So it was kind of that, kind of a rebellious stage where I was like, I didn't want to, for one, be a stepson, have my stepdad, for two, move away from my grandparents and all of that. But it was it was a little bit challenging at first. We also my stepdad had his own business. My mom was a flight attendant, so they were well off. I wouldn't say we were, it wasn't no balling, but You know, we were eating every day. We lived in a nice little suburban neighborhood, but the thing was, we was probably the only. I mean, in elementary school, I was literally the only black kid in my whole school. We was probably the only black family in our neighborhood for the majority of my life. So once I got into middle school, it was kind of a mixed middle school. So it was a lot of Mexicans. So I started getting in cool with a lot of the Mexicans. But then high school is when I really started like going to. So I lived on the border of like Spring Valley, which is kind of like almost southeast San Diego. And then I was like Rancho San Diego, which is more suburbs. But as I got older, I just always felt kind of like I wanted to be closer to my people. You know, I started like, you know, the neighbors and everybody I grew up with was always cool, but I could always felt the difference, you know, being like the only black kid in the school and the only black family in the neighborhood. I felt the difference. So I always wanted to go, as I got older, go be with my friends from school, which were like way more in Spring Valley area, which was not too far from me, but it was a whole different atmosphere. It was a lot more gang banging going on. So in 90, let me see, I went to high school in 94. 94 in San Diego was kind of active. Like it was, and the thing about San Diego, we of course are not LA, but a lot of people are always trying to compare to LA or trying to prove a point. Like we, you know, like as far as gangbanging goes, and like everybody wanted to be like, oh, I mean, we like LA, we harder than LA. So you know, we had a lot of people doing extra because they was always trying to prove like, oh, San Diego, because people think San Diego, they just hear San Diego, they think like, oh, surfers and beaches and suburbs. So a lot of the people that was really active like that, they was trying to prove a point. So yeah, high school, it was, I remember, first, I think the summer before I even went to high school was like the first time we got at a house party and getting shot at and like, you know what I'm saying, homies running up in there trying to, and that's when I knew I was like, yeah, you know, I don't really, because I mean, in my mind, you know, you young, you see everybody gangbang, you see your homies and you think like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, after that first time being shot at, that's when I realized, I was like, yeah, this gangbang is not for me. So then that's when I went to sports. But the way, you know, in sports is like, you traveling around and you competing in different events, so you know a lot of people from different schools. So it always for me is I kind of got that pass, and I knew people from church that was in Southeast, so it was always like, oh no, that's Black. He just, you know, he run track, he played football, you know, and they would run up on you all the time, like, hey, you know, where you from? Where you from? Like, man, look, I ain't from nowhere. Like, oh, you live in Spring Valley though. But then a lot of the homies would be there and be like, oh no, he just do sports. He play football. He run track. So you kind of get that sports pass where, all right, okay, I see you ain't really.
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
like
real thing.
I
it used to be. I'll say it used to be when we was growing up. It was a real thing.
Yeah, for real. You would, and I say it, and I say it humbly, and not trying to say like, but I mean like I knew dudes from every set. Like I almost got a pass from every set because like half of the dudes I went to church with, the other half I went to school with, the other half I was running track and playing football with. So I was seeing them at all kind of events, and we was all, you know, on the same page. Like, you know, we might live in this area, but we playing sports. We ain't out here active. But then you had your homies that was active. So you know, it in that era, in that time in San Diego, it was like everywhere you went, it was something revolved around some type of gang banging, or like cliques. Cliques was real big back then too. So you went to the mall, you had to watch out which mall you went to. You went to the beach, you had to watch out which, you know, Sundays at the beach is when all the Black people come out. So it yeah, it was a little rough, you know, but I will say sports, and that's probably what made me fall in love with, especially track. But I was doing football then, but track as well, just really because it kept me out the way. You know, like how we say out here in Cali, like, man, I'm trying to stay out the way. And it really, like having to go to practice and having to go to meetings and having to go to film and having to, you know, do all that stuff. It
no helped. Idle time.
Yeah, it helped me to stay, even though, you know, still a little run-ins and all that, because you go in house parties or dances, and I mean, sometimes too, homies, like niggas will run up at the school, like after school, you be like, hey, you heard them dudes from Morris's up here at school. So you couldn't get away from it all. But I do know that the sports is really, I mean, I say it all the time, it like really saved my life, because I know I would have, because you almost had no other option. It was just everywhere you looked, everywhere you went, it was something, it revolving around gang banging or cliques or something, or you would run into somebody that was banging. So the sports really saved it, and it like opened my eyes up to like there was more. But yeah, it was a different, it went from being like all white and suburban neighborhood to my high school being more of a mixed to where there was a lot of fights. My freshman year was a lot of little gang banging things, kind of even a lot of little race wars too, because we was a super mixed school. We had a lot of blacks, whites. We also had a lot of Chaldeans, like Arabians, and so the different people would feud here and there. But it was a good experience. It made me be able to conduct myself in every situation. Like I could go to, when I went to Mississippi, even though it was a change, I was still able to, communicate and be with black people. Or I can go to a different scenery, and I'm used to being the only black, so I'll be able to, be in the suburbs and still do what I got to do in the suburbs or whatever. So yeah, it was good. It was a little rough, but that's that California lifestyle.
Yeah. Definitely got to be able to adapt, man. We got to wear many facets, many hats like that, right?
Yeah,
Especially us being black males, being dudes, but also knowing we got to be in different types of societies and environments. We can't be this. Yeah, we can have dreads, braids, but now we have conversation. I can be one way, or I got partners from the block on the street too. You feel me? You talked about, I always love to talk about family and grandparents. So leaving your grandparents, how difficult was that for you at that time? Because I mean, like I tell my players and kids I coach, value your parents and value your grandparents all the time.
Yeah, it was hard for me because my grandparents, I mean, I moved when I was 7, but like I spent so much of my time with my grandparents because my mom, like I said, was a flight attendant. So some days she'd be gone 3-4 days working trips, and I'd be with my grandparents. But we also lived not too far from my grandparents, and we are tight. I mean, both my grandparents have passed away now, but our family was super tight. So it thinking of just when we moved, even though we could fly free, but it was like moving to the other side, like literally to the other side of the whole coast, going from Pennsylvania to California. My grandparents, they used to visit and all, but I was just super growing up. I was real close to my grandparents. So it was real hard. I remember being younger and my mom telling me as I got older that, the first week, like, I straight up told my stepdad, like, I'm smarter than you. Like anything that I was doing, and I was real, like I had a lot of anger growing up because I was always trying to get my mom to send me back with my grandparents. Like
that was your goal.
Like if I act out enough, then maybe she'll be like, "Oh, you about to go back with your grand?" But mom's was like, "Nah, man, we ain't about to like you gonna have to tighten up or something." But I remember a lot of times being mad about it because also too it was like that wasn't, even though my stepdad, I love him, he passed away as well. I love him to death, respect. And as I grew up, I respected him a lot more. But being young, it was always like, you ain't my dad. Like, my dad was never there. My real dad was never there. So it was always that piece missing and that anger because I was like, my dad ain't here. And then I got this other man trying to tell me what to do and you ain't my dad. So having my grandparents so far away, it was hard. And I know when I was younger, it kind of affected me. I kind of had little anger problems and like acted out and little different things like that, just because, like I said, I was trying to get back to Pittsburgh or just trying to really probably just trying to figure it out because I didn't understand what was going on, at that young age. So my grandparents, they've always been a major part of my life. So that was probably the hardest part, was moving and being so far away from them though.
Yeah, I definitely can relate. I would say mine happened similar. My mom was from Natchez down the road. They grew up. I mean, I was there all summers early, but then I was blessed to go back to Alcorn and play. Like they never seen me play high school basketball, middle school, junior college out here. But I was like, oh, I got a chance to go down there. Even it wasn't guaranteed I had to walk on, but I was like, man, my grandparents are 30 minutes away. So for them the years I was in Alcorn, I saw them all the time. I mean, we already had a close bond anyway, but then it was like even better. My grandma was a basketball fanatic. I was like, how do you like she liked Kobe Bryant. I was like, you're in Mississippi. How do you like the Lakers?
Right. Like
and Kobe, but she loved Kobe. Like I was like, we should stay up late night down there to watch Laker games. And I ain't no Laker fan. So I was like, what? But I mean, just that relationship with them and my grandpa, it just, the down south grandparents is different, man. He was so laid back and chill dude. We sit on the porch and talk. And I'm like, did this dude ever get upset or is he rap? Like he just laid back, do his little thing. And I was like, that's one thing. And both mine have passed away too, but those times were so dope for me. And I was older, 20, like I said, 19, 20, 21, 22. And I was like, damn, this is some good time. Like, how many guys can go home for college and go to their grandma's house, leave their clothes, and come back, they fold. I was like, she folded all the clothes up. I got hot meals.
It was right down the road from me.
I was there. My first I didn't have a car, but I met T Large, my dog. We used to go down there all the time. Afterwards, I'm like, if I ain't going nowhere, I'm going to grandma's house.
It's like that's what, like a 20-minute drive. That's
man, that's it, bro. So that was so crucial, man. But just those bonds, but I tell the kids again, value your grandparents, man. Like they're called grandparents for a reason, man. For sure, they're impactful. For sure.
Yeah,
that's definitely dope. sports, football, track, or just in general, man. Man, like in Pittsburgh, you got NFL, you got Steelers, you got stuff like
Yeah.
that. Then coming to SoCal, okay, maybe San Diego, but you got baseball, you got up north, you had Chargers, don't have Chargers. You go LA, though, you got Rams, you got basketball, you know what I'm saying, real close. Like, what drew you to sports in general outside? Was it the activity piece of it, staying busy, like you said? Not because you probably didn't know about it, was taking you out of trouble because your time, but what was it like?
Yeah.
Was it entertaining, or it was like, nah, you finna do something else? You ain't finna be in these streets.
It was, I mean, even when I was in Pittsburgh, I played sports my whole life. Like I played T-ball, I played soccer.
Everything.
When I was like 5, then when I moved to San Diego, I was playing. For me, I was big on football. So I never really knew anything about track. I just was big on football. I knew I was fast. I liked soccer. I played T-ball for a little bit. I wasn't really too big on baseball or T-ball. Basketball a little bit. All I knew was I was fast. So it was like football. So when I got to move here to San Diego, I was playing all Pop Warner, that's all of my life was football. And that just was coming from, my mom ran track, my stepdad, he played basketball. Him and his brother were like the first Black kids to play for Westminster College. Like our whole family is just sports. So it's like, it wasn't even like an option. It was just like, you just second nature, you just boom, play sports, whatever sports you like or good at. But then when I moved here, and then come high school, I was playing football. And in my freshman year, I'm like, okay, let me go and run track. Go out to run track. It was the first meet. Like never ran track, just knew I was fast. Run like my first 400. I beat all the varsity's time in my first 400. And coach was like, oh yeah, you run varsity. And so from then on, it was more so like track. I still played football until my junior year, but track is where I was getting like scholarship offers.
That was your ticket.
Where I was, that was really where I was excelling at. And I mean, football was still good, but coach told me one day he's just like, you can still keep playing football, but like if you get hurt playing football, that's your track scholarship too. So it had to make me really stop and think, like, as much. I mean, I'm still a diehard football. Like, I love football to death, but it had made me stop and think, like, okay, which one is really going to benefit me even more. So, like I said, I didn't start running track until my freshman year, but from then on, it just excelled. And I ran the hurdles, and I didn't start running hurdles until my sophomore year. And that was just like playing around at practice one day. And the hurdling coach see me playing on the hurdles and was like, oh, no, you a hurdler. And I mean, that's what I ran all through college. That's what I got a scholarship for, was 400 hurdles. And it just was for me too. It's just like, moving and being active is like so much for my mental. Like when I stopped for a little bit after I graduated, it's just like I got into a dark place. I wasn't mentally doing good, and I could feel it. It was because I wasn't active like I was before. Like this was when, because after you graduate, then you're not eligible no more. So it's kind of like you go from competing your whole life, doing sports your whole life, to then being like, all right, wait, now I don't got no practices no more. I ain't got no meets. I ain't got no games. So I felt myself then just like getting into that darker place. And then I started working out. And once I started working out and getting back active again, it like does something to your brain mentally. Just like, and I mean, I tell people all the time, it's just because human beings, we're meant to move. Like, we're not meant to live this sedentary lifestyle where we just sit and be on computers and be on phones. And like, years and years and years ago, our bodies are made to move. We either had to go hunt or had to go gather. So when I started moving, I started realizing that like, that's what I'm meant to do. And it was also like, it was something I love to do. Like, even if I was having a bad day or, mentally in a bad place, I get out there and like work out, or you get out and you just take it all out on the track or on the football field or in the weight room. And that's when I realized, like, man, this is like really actually what I want to do. So it just, honestly, it don't even feel right. Like today, I haven't even worked out today. And I'm like, I'm honestly over here, like, almost anxious. Like, man, I'm gonna have to work out later on after these clients. It's like, you need it now, but I also look at how I'm living. Like, I'm gonna be 43. I'll be 43 in February, and I'm literally jumping. I'm almost probably jumping higher than I was in college, almost running as fast as, and that's just from staying consistent, like, just that lifestyle. And I try to tell people it's you got to think of it as long term. Like, it's a lifestyle change. Like, when you say lifestyle, that means for the rest of your life, not this quick, oh man, I gotta you know, I'm going to Vegas in 2 weeks, man. I got to get in shape real quick. You know, like you got to look at it as a broader thing, but as longevity, like, you know, the healthier you are, the more active you are, like it's the statistics, like its study shows that that's the longer you live, the healthier you are. But then just mentally, that part too as well. It just, you know, you can get, you know, you got a rough day, you can get it all out, take it all out in the gym. Or once you leave the gym, you honestly, sometimes for me, I even start thinking clearer. Like if I'm upset, whatever, not going there and work it out afterwards, it's almost like those endorphins like clear your mind where you can think clearer, like, okay, what's the next move? What, you know, how can I handle this situation better than what I would have before, like out of anger, or you know what I mean? So it's just, for me, it's a way of life. It's just, you know, keeping the body moving and staying healthy, really, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, definitely that it's needed to. You want to live longer.
Yeah,
take care of yourself and your body. You got to make those changes, as we know. That's real. And you said one thing. I mean, I can definitely attach to. You said, bro, like if you're not doing something or that you love or been doing, it can bring up dark places, or you fall into certain gaps of, because that's an outlet. It's a therapy session for yourself. I don't have to talk to nobody if I'm trying. I ain't gonna train. This is my therapy for myself, my body. Right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that. I get it off my chest. I can hit them weights hard. I can lift a little harder. I can run a little faster. I can go a little longer. Because you know what I mean. And that's something that we need to learn how to do as people, regardless. Right? You holding that stuff in, it weigh heavy.
Yeah,
it weigh you down, bro. It weigh you down. Shout out to your boy, other teammate from college, Ryan McKenzie, man. I got to interview Ryan.
He's doing good out there, man. He out there coaching.
William Carey, man.
William Carey. That's where he's at, yo.
Yeah, man.
But he on the same thing though, man. I be seeing him. He be out there with his little athletes running with him and jumping with him.
They test him. He be like, I said, his energy is out the roof. I'm like, that boy motor is different.
But, I mean, but he's the same way though, because I mean, we go back and forth on Instagram or stuff. Like he'll throw some little workouts in, but he's the same way. He's been consistent. He's been doing it ever since when we was in college. When he got out, he was still doing it. Yeah. You know, and it's the same thing for him. It's just a lifestyle now. So it'd be funny when them little kids be calling you out like, all right, man, don't think just like.
And that's the cold part about, I'm like, y'all have no, because they don't know history or they don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, Coach, let me see, did you get some awards? Okay, I'm about to show you, and they be embarrassed. But I'm like, nah. And I will say this though, us being a 40-up club over here, man, brother's still holding on well. I'm trying to keep all together, man, but some people out here struggling.
Yeah, I seen a couple. I seen a couple, especially a couple we went to school with. I went to for homecoming. And I was up there, and I was seeing a few people. I was like, "Woo, yeah."
They gotta get that lifestyle change. Be real. You gotta be different.
But you can see it too. Like it even, you know, a lot of times you can see like even people's skin or like just like certain things, and like you can see even in your eyes. They say like your eyes show a lot of like with your health too. So like a lot of people having like dark, you know. So it's like, and you see people, and you like, damn, man, you know, you might have to like, you know,
heavy into the wrong thing,
or that diet up.
Yeah. The intake is important. What you put in your body, and you know what I'm saying, how you try to maintain that is definitely it's for you only. It's just for you.
Yeah.
It's that make you better.
Yeah, and it's like we ain't 21 no more. Like we could do that
too.
When we was 20.
The metabolism don't naturally burn no more. We gotta make it burn. Like I said, and I recently started, man, boxing stuff about 3 weeks ago now. And I'm like, oh, it's a different workout. I always wanted to do it, but now I'm like, okay,
oh man, that calories. Boxing, that's straight cardio. That's all that is, cardio.
And I'm like, I'm already small, still slim. I'm like, that's slim up again even more. But it's like, I enjoy it now. First week I was kind of sore, but now I'm like, I'm starting to get to it. But also that outlet hitting that bag too a little bit. But then go to the rowing machine, then go to the running. I'm like, you know what? But also I think my body like it's being stretched. I'm stretching more. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving better. I'm like, it's feeling more natural. I'm like, okay, this is something I can kind of maintain for myself.
And it's good too, like to challenge yourself too. I think for especially people who come from a sports background or competitive, like trying something new. Because when I first started boxing, it was the same thing for me. Like I ain't know that. My homies like turn your hips and this.
Yep.
And it's something new, and I just kept wanting to be on it because I'm like, all right, man, I got to get this down. So I think it's also good mentally because it's challenging you too as well because you like doing something different instead of the same thing every day.
Yep.
You get tired of doing that too.
Because I've been to classes, man, they got update stuff, and but also I think I respect it because the groups that I go to varies. But I see older gentlemen, older women, I see young. It's for any and everybody, but it's everybody. It's like a team sport, even though you're in individual activity. But everybody got a couple of little things in there, put little stuff on there. Who won that calorie burn today, stuff like that. But they also support each other. It's like who on the team, whole new squad. And I'm like, okay, this is dope. I like this environment. You know what I mean? I like it, and it's good for me. So I definitely, I would encourage everybody, man. You gotta get that exercise in. You gotta get that.
Man. it's a necessity, man, for real. Like, and no matter what your age is, too. Like, I mean, I see old people, I see kids. You know, even after I tell them, you know, you work with kids a lot too. It's like telling them to start off young. You know, even with my daughter and stuff, I'm always telling her like start out young. Like it ain't no age limit on just, you know, being active and living a healthy lifestyle.
You can put that in, for sure. You can put that in early. You talked about going from here. I mean, from Pittsburgh to Cali, then going back south to Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to Hampton for 2 years, and then
2 years Hampton.
Yep.
So was that, as we know now, right now, I already know like all this recruiting stuff out of high school, colleges at an all-time high, crazy level. For you, was that process something difficult? Was it stressful? Was it like an option for you? How was that? Was that like?
So Hampton. So one of my older cousins went to Hampton, and she graduated from Hampton. That's how I knew about Hampton. But it wasn't that bad because I felt like Hampton is like, it's in Hampton, obviously Hampton, Virginia, but it's nice out there. Like it's not like when going to Alcorn, it was like in the middle of nowhere. Hampton is like, you still got the city right there. You got like Virginia Beach, you got Norfolk, you can run right across the street, go to the mall real quick. Walmart's right down the street. You know, it's still like a city. And for me, it was just like, I wanted to get out of Cali too. Like I wanted to see something different. I'm like, okay, man, I've been in California my whole life. Like, let me see something different. I knew it was a Black college. You know, like at that point in time, I was really trying to like get into loving being, because like for a while, you know, being the only Black kid, a lot of times I like didn't like being Black and like didn't like being dark. Ashamed to being dark. So I knew it was a Black university. It's like, you know, well known. It's a real good school. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me, you know, try this out. Go to a historically Black college somewhere in Virginia. I ain't never been. So it was like, I was excited because it was something new, you know, like, and when I got there, it was everything I thought it was. Like it was, but it was also a lot too. Like, and that's why I had to transfer. I was kind of, you know, being on your own, you young, and it's like a party every week and a homecoming dance, and then like, and then on top of that, I was running too. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. My first 2 years, I was enjoying.
Yeah. You was from Cali, Pittsburgh, so you definitely a different site. We talk differently.
Man, yeah, it was. I definitely and that was part of the reason why I had to transfer. That first 2 years, I admitted I was hanging out. Yeah. Like, and I ran track, so it's like you one of the track boys, and you got the parties and the track party, and then the football game. Yeah, so we was hanging out, and then
experience.
I definitely had a nice first 2 years in college, but I paid for it too though, and I had to transfer and start all over. When I got to Alcorn, I basically had to start all over again. You know, a lot of my credits didn't transfer.
As we know, right? That's what happens for sure.
Yeah, and so like that's when I realized like, oh, okay, hold on, this is for real. This ain't like, you know, them first 2 years. A lot of people is like that. The first 2 years, you just because you free, you like you ain't
different. It ain't high school anymore. We like what?
Yeah, and then but then you got to stop and realize like, hold on, this is for real too now. Like I can be flunking out of these classes and like lose my scholarship and like, you know. So then it made me buckle down But I like Virginia. It was hard for me to leave Hampton, but it was like the coach got rid of all our scholarships, and it was like, yeah, he got rid of the whole team. Half of us was like, I mean, our coach that we had there too, that was like a whole nother long story. He was a alcoholic. But I mean, he used to be a good coach back in the day, but he was out there too. He'd be smoking at practice, like smoking cool. It was a whole thing, but. The coach at Alcorn was like, you know, me and my two homies, she was like, look, well, I'll give all three of you guys a full ride. So it was that decision of like, cause my mom and them was like, you know, you could stay, we'll like help you get some, you know, loans or whatever, or you could go to Mississippi. I ain't never been to Mississippi a day.
I was going to say, so then, okay, so you but no visit except the scholarship. Man, what was it like when you first got up to that stretch?
That's the part too, is because we drove, me and my mom rented a car and we drove from, you know, the only airport is Jackson. So that's an hour and a half drive. Yep. So by the time we get to, I think when I started realizing like Vicksburg, by the time we started getting to Vicksburg, I started being like, I'm like, damn, we still ain't there yet. Like, and then I'm just saying like, it's just like road and grass and fields, and then get to Port Gibson, and Port Gibson is just like, you know, PG is, you through PG in 5 minutes. Yeah. So then on another long dirt road, like then I get on the stretch, and then that's when I really was like looking at my mom like, hey, so I don't really like, I remember pulling up on the campus and looking at her, and she kind of looked at me too, like, you sure you gonna be all right with this? Like, and I was like, yeah, I know for sure if it wasn't for my two homies, Chris and Shank, we all transferred together and we ran. But those first 2 years, I know for sure I was depressed those first 2 years. Like I literally went through depression because it was such a culture shock coming from California to Alcorn State, and Alcorn State is in the middle of the country. Like, I mean, it takes us 30 minutes to get to Walmart. Walmart was like a trip.
So
Like
I tell everybody,
you
that
call
was
the
the
homies
mall.
up and be like, hey man, y'all gotta go to Walmart. And you like
Yep.
5 deep in the car just to go to Walmart, and it's 30, 40 minutes away. Like, you know, you come from San Diego, from California, where you can just hop up real quick and go to the store, and you know, there's buses, you can hop on a trolley or whatever. Like, there's none of that out there. So I know the first 2 years it was like, yeah, I was, all I did was run track, go to class, and that was it. We was doing our music too here and there, but like we literally just stayed to ourselves for at least a good year and a half. Like,
yeah, man,
it was difficult. It was hard.
What about, and again, shout out to your boys, because as you know, like potential without them, it could have been worse for you. But
oh man,
what type of things?
It would have been for sure.
What type? You said music. What, I mean, things like keeping each other grounded. What did y'all try? Just spending time together, or kind of just?
Yeah, well, we because we had kind of started our little group up too. We had we started a little group when we were at Virginia, and we was doing our rap. And we honestly, we had a studio. We made a studio in the dorm, like turned into our dorm closet into the booth, and had like a computer mic. I mean, it was so bootleg. My homie had his little computer. We had a computer mic. We put it in the closet. Put like some little styrofoam around to try to make it soundproof. And we was doing that in Virginia. So that was like, you know, we was actually pumping out little albums, doing talent shows at Alcorn, and like that was our release, because the other homie was from Dallas, Texas, which is a big city. The other homie was from Georgia, you know, so we all came from bigger cities. You know, they were in the South, but we all were still kind of like in a culture shock. So music was what helped us to like release, and it was like where we all connected. So it was just so easy to just like, we just be in the room, just making songs, making music, go to practice, go to class, go to CAF, come back, make music. So it was therapy. I mean, it's still, for me now, I still do music now. Like, I don't think I ever stopped doing music. And that's like another form of my therapy. And it helped me through a lot. And just because I grew up writing too. So just getting it out. And like you said, we were saying earlier about like holding stuff in, just getting it out was always a good thing for me. And that helped writing and doing songs that like about what I'm going through or whatever like that. It always helps. So that music helped those first 2 years, definitely, because I know for sure I wouldn't have, I don't know how I would have made it without doing that, or without them too, like my two homies too.
Definitely, that's what's up. What about you talk about music? What spring concert do you remember the most, that you had the most fun at, a memorable concert at Alcorn?
Man, it was the one with 3-6 Mafia, because we opened for him that time.
What?
Yeah, we opened when 3-6 Mafia came, and I remember we saw him in the back. Like, I think after we went on, we went in the back, because it was at the gym. So like they kind of had like their little backstage rooms or whatever, rooms in the back. So as we were coming off, I remember seeing 3-6 Mafia getting ready to come up on the stage. Dope. And that's the one I always remember, because that was probably our biggest, like, we did the little talent shows at school and all that, but opening for 3-6, that's
major.
At that spring concert, that was like our biggest show. We ain't never performed for no crowd like that.
That's
so
crazy.
It was dope. It was dope. It was a cool little, like, I can't even remember what song we did, but I feel like it was a dope little, it was like, we still talk about it now, thinking about it too. Like, that's so dope. That was definitely the one that stood out for me though.
Yeah, everybody can't say they did that shit. Guys with big contracts can say they open up for them. So sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty packed too. Like everybody that kind of came out for that one. It was in the gym. It was kind of, I don't remember what year it was though. Might have been like 2003. I don't know now. I can't think of it.
Yeah, that might have been. I think that, yeah, for sure.
Maybe like 02 or something. Like
02, I think it was spring 02. I got there in fall 02. I think that was one I just missed. So yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. You probably was just getting.
I just missed that one, but yeah, that's what's up. Definitely dope experience. Just what about the Alcorn vibe? Once y'all, I guess, became to get acclimated, adapted. What did you enjoy most about being out there? Flip side of it.
once I think it was really once I moved off campus. So when we moved off campus, we had our little house on the
A
back.
little more freedom.
Yeah, it was a lot more freedom, and it was also good getting like that slowdown, like that, coming from California where it's like you going in California, you like, and it was that's the one thing I do appreciate even when I go back, because my daughter's family still lives in Mississippi. So when I go back and visit, I do enjoy like the scenery and like just so it's cool sometimes being country. I was like out there hunting, hopping on the 4-wheelers, like doing country stuff, but everything was kind of slowed down. So as I was there a little longer, I started appreciating like just that little chill, the Southern hospitality. All her family still to this day treat me like, and I mean, her mom ain't been together for 18 or 17 years, and they still treat me, like they did 17 years ago. That Southern hospitality, real. I go there, it's like they gonna make me a whole plate 2 seconds as soon as I walk in the door. So that's a lot different in California. California is not really, I remember too. Also, what really used to mess me up is like riding around in Natchez or riding around in all the little towns and everybody waving at you. Like in Cali and San Diego, like ain't nobody waving at you and if they are, they about to like charge you
the wrong way.
Like, where you from or something. Yeah,
it's the wrong way.
I kept thinking that, like, why these people keep wait, like everybody waving, people on the porch just waving, people they ride by you, honk honk, they don't even know you. So that was different, but it was also dope too to experience that with like that Southern hospitality and just everybody being super friendly. It was a cool experience, and I appreciate it as I got older. But like at first, it was rough understanding it, but I did for me now, like I said, I can still go back and it's good because it's like slow down. You get, it's beautiful out there. It's like all kind of land and trees and
hella greenery,
lakes,
right?
and the greenery is crazy. So it's like I appreciate all of that too. So that's the one thing. It's just a lot of other things were kind of slow, like for the music scene, when I'm trying to do music and my fitness thing and different things like that. But I do appreciate the where you just is kind of like you just relaxing. It's not as much stress as it is being in the city too sometimes. So that's the one thing I did really enjoy when I was out there.
That's a big fact, man. Definitely that. Talk about the fitness part, man. At what point, bro, after graduation, getting back here, what part do you really figure out or decide or choose? What was the deciding factor for you to go into business for yourself? Because it's not an easy thing, bro. It's a bold move. It's scary. It's hesitancy. It's not unsureness. But what point do you go and jump in and bet on yourself?
So when I moved here kind of like just nothing, like no job, nothing. It was just I was in grad school for a couple years, and then I just up and moved. Almost got married, and then that fell apart, and I just came home. But I really what it was is I got one of my friends had opened up a dispensary, in California. I caught a case, like just straight up. I caught a case my first year back, and I had to do like a month and a half in the feds, and then it was on my record. So all my years of school, all my undergrad degrees, I couldn't use them anymore. So I was working like retail. I was driving Uber. I was working at like the 24-hour fitness, and I just like all these little random jobs, just trying to like figure it out. And then just one day, just at 24-hour fitness, I was just like, man, you know what? Like that's when I started realizing like this is what I actually love doing. Like I started training people on the side, just here and there, nothing real serious. But then I was like, this is what I actually really love doing. So I just was like, you know what? I quit all these other little random jobs, stopped driving for Uber, and I was like, you know what? I'm just about to just go all in. And I was like, I know I can't really use my degrees really now because I got a felony on my, and it was like I got my daughter, I got my mom, I'm trying to help out, like. So it really was just stepping out on faith and being like, this is something that I actually enjoy and love doing. And also realizing like, I don't really want to work for somebody. Like, I don't want somebody telling me when to move and giving me this little change while they getting, millions off of me. And it was hard. I mean, it's still hard right now. And it's been about 6 years, almost 7, about like 7. And it's still, but looking back to where I started to where it's at now, I can definitely see the growth. But yeah, just starting that business, man, in first 3-4 years is it's rough, man. You like you trying to figure out where you about to get your next meal at. Like, so it just what helped me hold on to though was that I was doing something that I love. Like, I love helping people. I love, the whole health aspects of it, seeing people go from, being overweight and unhealthy to being in shape, and then seeing how much they change, where they're like, yo, man, like, I feel so much better with my life. You know what I'm saying? And seeing that, and then just seeing what it does for my own self, that's when I was all the way locked in. Like, this is what, and I'm like, man, this is what I've been doing my whole life. Like, literally since I was 5 years old. Like, why not turn that into a career? Because this is actually what I love doing. So yeah, it was just it just took that day when I just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna step out on faith. Like, if it's meant to work, it's gonna work. And yeah, it was just after that it was over with.
That's what's up, man. And while we're talking about it, just let people listening know where they can find information at for the pay, for the job, for the fitness stuff. Where can they find you, man? Give out your information right now, real quick.
All right. So if you go on the website, it's Just Blackk. So it's JUSTB as in boy LACKK.com. That's the website. The website has everything connected to the Instagram page. The Instagram page is JBKK_fitness. But like I said, if you go on the website, justblack.com, it has everything linked to it. Also do online training, also do weight loss. I coach, still coaching with track. So I do a lot of speed and conditioning. Also too, really getting into a lot more trying to, cause I feel like once you're an athlete, you're always an athlete. So I'm always trying to get, especially for me, I just recently became a grandfather too. So I'm always trying to get dads who be like, man, I used to be able to do this. I used to be able to play foot like that. Like they used to be able to, man. We're trying to throw that out the window. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like if you're an athlete, you always an athlete. You just gotta tap back into it again. Like, so I'm also big on, getting the older people in shape. And I mean, I don't even like saying older because I feel like we're in our prime right now. But you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people get in their 40s and they think like that's it. Like, man, I used to be able to do this. Like, no, man, you can still do it. But this is what we got to do. And it's gonna be a hard little journey to get back. But once like, I be calling little young dudes out, like, come on, man, you all right, you 18, let's go. Let's hop on this. And then then you get out there and or you be right there with them and they be like, oh, hold on, the 2-year-old is over here running with me. Like, yeah. So I'm big on performance training, functional training. So, I got people with injuries, older people, weight loss, all that.
Definitely, yeah. So all my San Diego people down there, man. I got a couple partners who coaching. Y'all gonna see this, hear this, coaching sports, coaching whatever sport it is. Tap in with my man. You link them up for your team. Get that team training going too, man. Link up with them. I'm sure he make it happen either online or in person, man. So tap in with them anywhere online though too, y'all. Anywhere, man. Tap in with them. And all clients is gonna see this, man. I know they're gonna watch it, man. Y'all get some online support right there. Right,
oh yeah, always, especially, man. I got the website. Go on the website for all my people out there at Alcorn, man. We can do the online thing. We can do the little, however you want to do it, whatever weight you got. If you only got bands, if you only got something home, I'll make it happen. Trust me.
You're gonna figure it out. Yeah, I already know. You're gonna figure it out. So that's what we're here for. All right, at the end of every show, Jay, like in basketball, right? You can dribble, pass, or shoot. That's called triple threat. But for you personally, man, I always get my guests. Give me 3 things that you just hang your hat on, man. That kind of how you live by, how you move by it. People would know, okay, yeah, this is just Black. This is him. This is how you roll. This is how you move, man. Give me your personal triple threat.
I would say one of the big top things for me is, and this is what we always grew up on, like in college too, is last chance, no breaks. Like, so it's like almost like a carpe diem, like, life story. You never know when this might be your last chance. So that's how I try to go every day. Like when I'm working out or run, whatever it is, like this might be my last chance. So, no breaks. Like I can't give up because I never know, tomorrow's not promised. And I have to say for sure, just family, like family over everything. Like now I said, being a new grandfather, like every time I say it, it tripped me out. So I'm just like, and then, like my mom and my nieces, my nephews, like just being that good example. So like family over everything, family and just consistency and trust the process. That's what I would say too, those 3. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. You heard it here first again, man. Tap in with him, man. I'm going to post it as I always do on the socials information. I'm gonna tag my guy and all the information. But tap in, like I said, those fitness exercises are available online as well. Programs can be set up, so don't think you can't get access because you're not there personally.
Man,
it's
I'm
available.
telling you, look, this what almost 2024. We got technology is everything right now. We got as long as you got a smartphone or a laptop or an iPad, anything, we can make it happen. Trust me.
Yep, definitely. I appreciate you, Jay. I'm gonna tap in with you again. Y'all heard it here first live with Coach Blackk and Coach JT, two Alcorn State alumni in Cali doing what we got to do, man, and make others around us better and ourselves better, man. So appreciate your time, man. I'm gonna tap in with you.
Appreciate you for
Thanks
having
again,
me.
man. Oh no, not a problem, man. Keep grinding, man. I definitely know if I'm down that way anytime soon, I'm tapping in for sure. So we can try. I gotta stop by and get a workout.
Yeah, holler at me, man. Let me know.
For sure, boy. I appreciate you.
All right, bro.
All right, y'all. We out.
All right. Peace.